Okay guys, bit of a different setup today. I know this is in the way, but please ignore it for the duration of this video. I wanted to bring this piece of content to you. I do think it would genuinely help some guys out there because there's a lot of shit online. There's a lot of shit nowadays, and there's a lot of shit people talking a lot of shit. I was recently in Bali, and you see on social media, I think there was a post recently that said Bali is the #1 travel destination, and yeah, it's all right. Tons of traffic. To actually do anything, you've got to risk life or death on the back of a scooter. You get poisoned by the food because food and health standards aren't great. You know, when I was sitting there eating some food, there's a rat next to me. They don't show you that on Instagram, do they? But the point is that a lot of these guys in Bali that are making the content, they have the lifestyle, and I went to Bali because I wanted to see for myself. And yeah, the content that I got from it looks great, but they're all fake. As people, they're all fake as shit. They are not confident at all. I was in this gym called Obsidian Gym, and I was speaking to this girl who had a dog, and one of the big guys who comes across, you know, you'd think he has all the confidence. He was sat there with his head down, waiting for me to finish speaking to this girl, so then he could jump in, because obviously he was desperate for a bit of pussy. And this has generated this idea that I'm bringing to you guys today. You can't fake confidence. You can't fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it is not how you develop confidence. That's complete bullshit. Now, I grew up with real men. I grew up with actual hard-headed, bold men. One of my first jobs, I remember I was working with a guy who was from Birmingham in the UK, proper Brummie, proper man. And I've always been surrounded by proper men. And it's clear that, you know, we've got the lack of masculine role models in society today, but it's clear that a lot of these guys have bitches as their dads. Your dad's not a hero. Your dad does everything out of fear. He gets on his hands and knees for your mother because he's scared of losing her. He's operating from a scarcity mindset. A lot of guys lack father figures, and as someone who has been surrounded by real men, and I would say I've become a proper man, a real man, I want to give this advice to you guys. Confidence comes after you do something. Let's say I was a skinny fat kid. I'll try and put some pictures up on screen. I was really not in the most healthiest shapes. I didn't really care about fitness. I was getting attraction from women just by being who I was, which is a whole nother area to delve into. But I was a skinny fat guy, kid, and I wanted to get into shape. I was fed up of being weak. I wanted a bit of strength. So you go to the gym, you're full of doubt, you're full of insecurity, anxiety, fear, you have no idea what you're doing. You may be feeling a bit depressed, but you go, have a workout, have a good session, lift heavy, focus, dedicate yourself, and when you come out of the gym, you feel great, you feel on top of the world. And that's because I've never left the gym feeling worse off. I've never left the gym feeling worse, feeling more depressed. It just doesn't happen. And that is the same with confidence. You cannot... Look, you walk into the gym as a skinny fat kid, as I once was, but if you walk into the gym, and there's a load of guys there, they're insecure, they're moving like that, they're scratching their hair and shit. But at least they've made the effort to go. At least they've turned up. At least they've shown up. At least they're doing something with their lives. They're trying. And that's what Creator, this YouTube channel, is all about. My sole purpose on this channel is to inspire other guys to actually take action, to actually do things, to have this optimism and drive that I have. I want to give that to you guys. I want to inspire men to actually start improving their lives and dedicating themselves towards something. But as I've seen in Bali, there's a whole load of guys out there that are faking it. They're going with this fake it until you make it. But deep down they know something's wrong. And when they interact with someone like me, there'll be guys with millions of followers or 100,000s of followers speaking to me, asking me for advice. When I haven't got the followers yet. But they're asking me for advice. I'm like, I should be the one with loads of followers. Because you clearly are just faking it. That's a gripe I have with these modern day influencers. But confidence comes after you do something. Confidence comes after you go and speak to that woman. She says no, but you still feel good about yourself because you did it. I was in the sauna one time. There's this, I think she's from Pakistan. She is a Pakistani English girl. And she was kind of following me around in the sauna. You know how women kind of act. She was making it quite obvious, so I just sat there in the sauna like this, and then I just started speaking to her. But if you frame it like this, if you're like, okay, I'm going to speak to her, no matter what she says, I have to speak to her because I want that positive confidence afterwards, knowing that I tried, knowing that I spoke to a woman in the sauna. And more often than not, things go well, guys. More often than not, it's all, you get stuck in your own head. Okay, you get stuck in your own head. But fake it until you make it is not how you develop confidence. You just come across as fake. You might have inauthentic, disingenuous relationships or interactions or friendships or something. But you don't... People can see straight through it. The actual real people out there can see straight through your fakeness. If you are trying to follow this advice, fake it until you make it, people can see straight through it. And the problem is that in your head you think you're the best thing ever, but your results don't show it. So in your head you think you're the best thing ever, and yeah, I get it, it takes time for results to show. And you should be thinking good about yourself, but you should never delude yourself. Your ego should never delude you. You should be able to look in the mirror and honestly say that you're not perfect. Look in the mirror, like when I was skinny fat, I was alright, I had a good kind of life setup, but I wasn't happy with myself. So I looked in the mirror, I was like, I'm not in the best shape. That's obvious. Let's go and get in a good shape. And now I'm in the best shape of my life, ever increasing. But if I was to go to the gym as a skinny fat individual, someone who's never gone to the gym before, you do feel fear. Everyone feels fear. It's how you deal with it. Everyone feels insecure before they actually do something. But life is, if you think about it this way, a numbers game. If you go up to so many women, you will get interest back from one. You're not that far low. You think, like some guys out there may think they're worse off than they actually are. You go up to so many women, you will get women, okay? There's plenty of fish in the sea. I believe that to be 100% true. There's plenty of fish in the sea. But there's not plenty of decent, genuine men. And that's where you should strive to be. A decent, hard-working, disciplined, our core values here on Crater: discipline, hard work, respect, honour, duty. These are things that we as a brand value, and I as an individual taking this brand forward, this is what we value. So I want guys on this channel who don't have it all together, who are trying their best to make something of their lives. I want you guys that are actually trying, that value these things beyond themselves. There's no reward for being fake. And the vast majority of people are fake out there in society. If you are improving yourselves and want to do better, men like us are rare. We are a rarity. That's why when we get to where we want to get to, we reap the rewards. Not everyone out there is trying. They're too busy watching streamers. They're too busy maintaining a childlike mentality, eating Haribos and shit. They're not trying. And then they moan and complain and wonder why stuff isn't going their way. Oh, I'm insecure, I'm confident. You haven't tried. So guys like us, we're actually trying. And you should feel proud of yourself. You should feel happy. You're not where you want to get to. There's always more you can be achieving, yes. But be grateful that you are actually a guy who's trying in life. Because you will succeed. You try so much, something will work, okay? But I really want to destroy this idea that fake it until you make it and then you're confident, okay? Maybe it works for some people, but they'll always be beat by guys like me who are genuine. And when you meet me in, let's say you see me on camera, you've got your own ideas and perceptions of me. You meet me in real life, I'm exactly how I am on camera, but even more impressive. As I was growing up, I used to make videos, people would have this illusion of me, and then they would actually meet me in real life and be like, okay. Why would the so-called popular mischievous ones that you grow up with, why would they respect me? Because respect is earned, and you earn respect by doing things in life. Most guys have a feminine way of thinking, and that's because of how society is nowadays, a very feminized society. Most guys' brains are geared to think like a girl. Or I need to look in the mirror and fix my hair and have the perfect hairstyle. I'm not against maintaining and grooming yourself and looking like a well-groomed man. You don't want to be a stinky beast. No woman wants a stinky beast. They want a sophisticated, competent man who's capable of the duality that is required in life. That's what they want. They want a James Bond who can wear a suit, interact, drink fancy cocktails and drinks, but also can go round to the back alley and be violent. That's what's required of today's world. And shame on a lot of the father figures in this world that have not brought their sons up to be genuine, decent people, who have not educated their sons to actually on just the basics of life. You actually have to do things. You actually have to try. You actually have to take action, and then you get the confidence. People like David Goggins. He agrees with me. He says the same thing. He doesn't directly agree with me, but we share the same viewpoint. Confidence comes after you do something. Every man is filled with fear, anxiety, stress, worry, all these negative emotions, and what they want to achieve is right here. If you just sift through those dark emotions and just do it anyway, you've already taken the step that 99% of people don't take. That step, 99% of men are here, and the amount of excuses and reasons they will generate in their own head, in their own life, the amount of excuses they complain about, this didn't happen because I couldn't do it. They will generate entire stories, entire narratives in their mind as to why they couldn't do something, when really they could have just done it anyway. If you want to start going to the gym, exercising, get in the shape of your life, you just go to the gym. That's how you do it. People, when you try and go to the gym, people give you all sorts of advice. And yeah, be open to receiving advice from guys who have actually done it. Go to a gym, and if a big guy is trying to give you advice for free, take that advice. Not everyone's out to try and get you. Of course, if there's a PT, he's interested in selling his training program. But you just go. You just go. If you lift the weight, Here is how you do well in the gym. The fitness industry won't like this because they speak a load of nonsense. You don't need all this nonsense. Turn up every day, train hard, eat good food, get good rest, and by rest I mean sleep. I went, when I was trying to build my body, 28 days in a row. I didn't give a monkeys about rest, or I need a day off here because I'm a bit sore. No, just go, just do it, and then you will build the body that you want. This video is kind of turned into a gym motivational fitness video, but it's more about confidence. It's more about taking the steps to do something. Anything in life requires action. And a lot of guys are stuck with how they actually take the action. You think you need confidence, but that is the illusion. You do not need confidence to take action. Self-belief, maybe. Belief that, okay, I do not know how this is going to work out. I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to try anyway. And that's about having a bit of balls about you, having a bit of using that testosterone, just trying anyway. You may try, you may fail. Who cares? If you fail, that's feedback. Failure doesn't really exist because it's feedback, and feedback you learn from, and then you go again, and then you don't make the same mistakes if you're smart, and then it works. So that's been today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. At the moment, I'm building the audience here on this channel, so if you want to be part of Crater, which is a movement really to re-inspire men to get back on track, dedicate their lives, and become the best versions of themselves they can be. That is what I'm trying to do here. I have great plans for the future. I want to build men's retreats. A lot of guys would benefit because of the lack of discipline that they get from their father. A lot of the guys would benefit from an army-style training camp, joining the army, but a lot of guys don't want to join the army. So I want to have a men's retreat, which is basically the next best thing from joining the army. When I was 18, if I had some guy saying, okay, come here for a month, train, you'll be training every day, you'll be surrounded by guys that are actually disciplined, like an army training camp. I would have loved that. So that's plans for the future. For now though, if you'd like to get serious, I can help you. So maybe you're a bit lost, maybe you don't really know what you're doing in life. I've developed, and this has been the problem that I've had all my life, but now that I've figured it out, I've developed a system on how you can actually visualize your goals, visualize what you want your life to look like, and how you can actually achieve it. So if you want help, it's called the Reality Creator Program. I would really recommend you guys come and work with me one-on-one, because it's life-changing. It changed my life. Once you figure it out, guys, it's so simple and easy and quick that you'd be wondering why you didn't take it sooner. So I'll see you in the next video.